Bungie, I don't even think adding a 3 at the end of Destiny is going to save it at this point. Hello there, my name is Planars, and I have not made videos on this platform in nearly 10 years, but that doesn't matter. Today we're talking about Bungie, alright? It's been 73 days since Edge of Fate has released, and it's been nearly 3 weeks since the Ash and Iron update, and it has not changed players' sentiment about the current experience of Destiny 2. Playing the game doesn't even feel fun anymore. Grinding activities outside of a portal are fucking meaningless. About 70% of the entire game is sunsetted behind this thanks to the portal system, which I have a lot to complain about. Before I even get into portal issues, let's rewind back to a time where everyone remembers Destiny at its best. We're going to go back to D1, Taken King. Taken King is regarded to many as Destiny's best expansion. Hell, people still consider it the best expansion that has ever released to this date still, even with Destiny 2 being out. And then we get Wrath of the Machine. We get a fun raid with Wrath of the Machine, and I generally thought Wrath of the Machine was a good expansion. I'm not sure how most players felt, but most of my friends and peers who were playing at the time absolutely liked it. It was fine. It was okay. It wasn't bad. And then that was the last expansion, for D1. And fast forward to, I believe, 2016? Sorry, 2017. I believe Destiny 2 released September. Actually, this month. I forget which day of this month. Destiny 2 released this month, September, in 2017. Almost 8 years ago, we got D2. And the Red War, the base D2 was awful. No random rolls, just everything was static rolls. You just felt sick. It just felt gutted. It just felt like it was completely gutted. We get Curse of Osiris and we get Warmind. 2 DLCs that were priced $20 each, and both of them were hot ass. Specifically Curse of Osiris, but I don't think we need to talk more about that expansion. I like for it to just be a bad memory. And then, we get Warmind, and then after Warmind was one of the biggest turnarounds for Destiny 2. Forsaken. Yeah, that's my girl right there. Forsaken was such a good expansion. It was such a big turnaround from the awful mess that was just the base D2 experience, Red War up to Warmind, and it completely revived the game. Amazing campaign, amazing missions, amazing raid, amazing dungeon. It was everything but kit and caboodle with all the efforts that, when Bungie was working with Activision, they had the help of Vicarious Visions for the raid. I believe for a lot of the expansion. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Sorry if I don't get it 100% right. And then we go right back to fucking mediocrity with Shadowkeep. I don't care who feels the type of way about this. Maybe I could be wrong and I just might be in the minority here, but this is a hill I'm dying on. I think Shadowkeep is Destiny's worst expansion. I truly think it is. People hate Beyond Light. I don't like Beyond Light, but I don't think it's worse than Shadowkeep. I think a lot of people are just forgetting how bad of an expansion Shadowkeep was. The fucking story was locked behind public events and lost sectors? Dude, I never mind. And then we got Beyond Light, which people think Beyond Light is the worst expansion. I think that's fucking crazy when Shadowkeep is literally right there, and Lightfall, which we'll get into in a few moments. Beyond Light did have a bit of Shadowkeep stink on it still. I don't think it was anywhere as egregious with public events and doing a mundane activity in the same sense of how Beyond Light made us do it. I simply think Witch Queen was a great expansion. I actually love Vow of Disciple. It is very confusing still to me to this day. I admit, with symbols. I have ADHD. I ain't got time to recognize like 30 symbols. God damn it. I'm sorry. After that banger of an expansion, we go right back down to shit town. I wonder how much Bife cringed going through Lightfall. Do you like cryptics? Do you like tutorials? Do you like being forced to play the game by Bungie's rules? Look no further than Lightfall, baby. I have never played a campaign so confusing, so insulting, so tedious, and annoying as Lightfall. Osiris is having a fucking period for 50% of this expansion. I am not fucking joking to you. The literal first half of Lightfall's campaign is Osiris being passive aggressive or screaming at you. I cannot make this up. We get terms dropped on us that we've never heard before, like the veil and the radial mass, but none of it is explained at all to you in this campaign. I am serious. The veil and radial mass are mentioned so many times that you just never get the answer you're looking for. It's brought up so much you would think that, oh, hey, maybe at the end, maybe they explain to us what the radial mass is. No, we don't get none of that. The story is literally the witness is approaching a traveler to do a horrible thing. And what do you do for the entirety of the expansion? You fuck around with surfers and gawk about your strand powers. That's it. That's what you do the entire campaign. And you don't even get to fully use the subclass until about almost halfway through the campaign, which, what a spectacular idea, Bungie. Emperor Callus in this expansion is only the second fiddle errand boy to the witness, and what does he do? Obtains unfathomable darkness energy that he received from the witness, only for us to defeat him with our own darkness powers that we've been locked into using for 50% of the game with no aspects or exotics. It's honestly just a huge joke, but even more of a huge joke was the raid that shipped with this goddamn expansion. Root of Nightmares. It was an overglorified Nightfall with brain-dead easy-ass mechanics, nowhere near as challenging as the level of Vow of Disciple. I will even go out of my way to say that Crown of Sorrow was a bigger challenge than Root of Nightmares. I am not joking. That is how insanely low effort that raid turned out to be. Follow up with at least 2 good dungeons, Ghost of the Deep and Warlord's Ruin. A lot of people don't like Ghost of the Deep. I like Ghost of the Deep. Other than that, Nightfall was awful. This expansion was literally the turning point for the entire franchise. It made a lot of people quit the game. Made a lot of people take a break from the game. I myself took a break, and I was very scared for the future of Destiny 2. Pre-orders for the final shape were low. People were even canceling their pre-orders. I didn't even pre-order the final shape, to be honest. And if I'm being honest here, I didn't jump back in to play the final shape until Edge of Fate was going to release like 2 months prior. I'm so happy I did play the final shape. Bungie really outdid themselves with that expansion. The story, the 12-player mission excision, the raid, it all felt like it meant something, and it really signified that this was the end of a 10-year saga. So after being impressed by what the final shape offered me, I caved in for the Edge of Fate, and it was extremely confusing. Bungie had completely reworked most of Destiny 2 with the Edge of Fate, and this introduced new armor systems like tiered armored and weapons, on top of tiered armor having set bonuses for the more pieces of gear that you wear. On top of that, Bungie even quote-unquote reworked stats and unnecessarily renamed stats. I was able to understand the new systems better thanks to the help of bigger content creators like Astacross and Rick Cactus HD. And after spending some time with the tiered system, I actually do like it. I actually do like that weapons have shiny variants and that weapons at higher tiers can have an even bigger perk pool. I really do like this system. It does feel like Bungie, instead of just making Destiny 3, just kind of wrote it into this game with a new system. But grinding out for this gear is just super tedious, and on top of that, super confusing while being super fucking tedious. Why? The portal. So yeah, this was one of the new changes that came along with the Edge of Fate, and it is severely lacking in content. You never realize how much of a chore it is to play Destiny 2 until you end up farming K1 Logistics or Caldera for fucking hours straight to grind power. There was no new strikes introduced with the Edge of Fate, and to be honest, I haven't even touched the campaign still. The grind to 550 power was so arduous. I was even told that playing the campaign was not as efficient as just grinding that Caldera or K1 Logistics Lost Sector, which was what I did, and it sucked because I've heard amazing things about the Edge of Fate's narrative, and I haven't experienced it yet because the game is just that tiring to play. I haven't even reached 300 power yet. I've been playing since the release of Edge of Fate, and it is very hard to grind for power. Bungie calls themselves fixing this by increasing the drops in every activity, though originally they were intending to nerf solo ops because it was too good. It was too good. Bungie doesn't like it when their players are efficient. But thankfully, with enough player pushback, Bungie decided to not nerf solo ops and just increase drops all across the board, which, yay! Nerfing solo ops should have never been the goal, Bungie, by the way. I think it's dumb to hurt your lone wolf players because everyone finds it efficient to grind solo ops. I like the idea of a portal, don't get me wrong, but man, Bungie just needs to take the rest of the game that's sunsetted right now and just dump it all in the portal. How hard could it be, right? To just add tiered remixed loot to these old activities. Hell, honestly, you don't even need to tier the old loot. Just let them drop at higher power. You're forcing new players also to adapt to the system that is severely lacking in content. It feels soulless. It feels empty. It feels like a chore to navigate through. And then the world tab just feels lifeless. The only thing on the world tab that is only worth going to is the tower, or going to see Devrim K and the EDZ for the first time and only time to talk about Reclaim, which we'll get into that in just a few moments. The world tab needs to be populated. I was so disappointed when we get the Ashen Iron update and the Plague Lands is just locked behind an activity called Reclaim in the portal. I very much still want to run the raid, but I'm still not even at the power I need to be to even run the raid, man. So I'm just stuck doing the seasonal activities and whatever solo op shit I have and whatever pinnacle op shit I'm going to do just so I can get the drops I need to level up for the night. It feels like a chore. It's no wonder why content creators like Glad and Cactus aren't even participating in the epic raid. Your game is filled with bugs and other problems, Bungie, cheaters included. The problem I have is a lack of transparency with this new commitment Bungie has for the game. Outside of Destiny 2 itself, Bungie has done a myriad of scummy things, I feel, in recent times to warrant anger from the community. Plagiarism with Marathon, Pete Parsons cut and running, Bungie putting more fucking effort into the Eververse armor sets than the actual armor sets in their game. Or how about an Iron Banner armor set that was sold to you in the Eververse shop that was originally going to be free in the Iron Banner event? I'll give you one better. How about a Taken set that used to be free in Destiny 1 being reprised for Destiny 2's Eververse shop and sold higher under a quote-unquote bug? My favorite video game is dying. And as good as Renegade looks to me, I have no hopes that Bungie could save this game. Will I continue to play Destiny 2 for the foreseeable future? It's very hard adjusting to this new game, basically. A lot of players are tired. I am tired of the bullshit. And I don't think a Destiny 3 is going to save this game when people have already checked out since Lightfall. I want to give Bungie another shot at doing the right thing. I feel like they can do this. They've proved themselves in the past and they can do it again. All you need to do is unsunset the remainder of the game and figure out a way to make this portal and world tab system intertwine with each other and make this game not feel like an empty husk. Destiny's player base is plummeting. I think the highest concurrent peak was around 9,000. That's fucking low for Destiny. That is extremely bad. And if things continue to go down the same trend, I don't see Destiny 2 lasting any more than 3 years. Hell, I don't even see it lasting any more than 2 if Renegades doesn't deliver. All I want is for Bungie to make this experience meaningful again. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to talk about more Destiny 2 related stuff or engross yourself in some random content that I plan to upload in the near future, all my links will be in the description below. Thank you for checking out my video. You guys have a good night.